Hi guys, and welcome to Saleem's kitchen. Today we are making onions samosa. Like any other samosa recipe, there are always two parts, the filling or stuffing and the pastry. So let's start by making the filling or stuffing first. The stuffing can be made in two ways. When you mix all of the raw ingredients together and make a quick filling, or you can cook all of the raw ingredients. I prefer the cooked version because it always turns out tastier. When the ingredients are cooked, it brings out the flavor. Let's start by finely slicing 4 medium onions. Two green chilies finely sliced. And 1 bunch of fresh coriander finely chopped. Heat your pan on medium heat and add in 1 tablespoon of normal cooking oil or vegetable oil. Once your oil is nice and hot, add in your spices, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of dhania or coriander powder. Mix this well. Once your spices have been fried, add in your onions. Give this a good mix. Now add in the green chilies and 1 teaspoon of salt. Mix again. Now add in half a cup of semolina. Give this a good mix. Now add in your coriander or dhania. Now you can switch off your stove and give this a good mix. And our filling or stuffing is now ready. Now let's move on and make our pastry. In a mixing bowl, add in 1 cup or 500 grams of all-purpose wheat flour, 1 teaspoon of salt. Mix well together. And form a well. Now add in normal tap water, little at a time, and form a dough. Once you add in your water, just push the flour to the water like this and gently mix without pressing. I have added in 100 milliliters of water. Now first it down and start to form your dough. Once your dough is formed like this, knead it well for 1 minute. Once your dough is ready, it should not be sticky. If it is sticky, you can just add a little dry flour, and when you push it in like this, it should have a slight spring back action. Now that we have the perfect dough, let's move on to the next step. Roll out your dough into a 8 centimeter long cylinder. Use a ruler to check. You can always tap it a bit in to make it a bit smaller. Now that you have a 8 centimeters long cylinder, cut it into 4 equal pieces. Just press your ruler down like this and mark it on 2 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and 6. Now you can cut it out into 4 equal pieces. Now let's bring it back into a round cylinder shape. Simply roll it like this very gently without pressing. And you will bring it back into a round cylinder shape like this. And then simply press it down and you will form a small disc. Do the same for the rest of the pieces. Gently roll it out like this to form it into a round shape again, and then press it down and you will have a small disc. Once our discs are all formed, we are now going to roll them out into a saucer size roti. First, add a little dry flour on both sides. Now press it out using your fingers. Before rolling, always dust your rolling pin with dry flour. Now we can start to roll out a saucer size roti. Very gently start rolling in a circular motion. If you can get a rolling pin with swivel handles like this, it will make rolling much more easier. Your roti don't have to be 100% round. Now keep a saucer on your work table and always check if you don't overroll. So if you overroll slightly, that is okay. So now we have our first roti rolled out. Let's do one more. Now you can apply some dry flour on the table and set this roti on top of the dry flour. Once all of your rotis have been rolled out, we can move on to the next step, which is the oiling process. Use normal cooking oil for oiling your rotis. For oiling, you can use a brush or you can use your fingers. I prefer using my fingers because I can feel if I leave out any dry spots, making sure that my roti is well oiled. Make sure all the edges are well oiled. Set your next roti on top. Now when you're adding roti on top of the next roti, do it very gently or else your roti will start to slide. Once all the rotis have been oiled well, we are now going to roll it out into a thin sheet. Apply some dry flour on your work table. Set your layered rotis on top. Now lift your stack up like this and gently press the edges down all around. You can gently use your fingers and press it evenly all around. It is fine if your roti is not set at 100%, like you can see here. That is perfectly fine. Apply some dry flour on top and gently rub it all over. Applying dry flour makes it easy for you to roll because it will not stick onto your work table. Always keep some dry flour on your work table because you will need it as you're rolling out. Again, always dust your rolling pin with dry flour. Now let's gently roll. Remember, the trick is not to press, is to make the weight of your rolling pin roll it out for you or do the work for you. So gently push it forward and pull it towards you. 1, 2, 3. Now we will turn it over. Now if you see your oil visible like this here, simply add dry flour there so it will not stick to your rolling pin. And let's roll out 3 again. Forward, 1, 2, 3. And then we will turn it over again. And again repeat the process, the rolling process. 1, 2, 3. Turn it over again. 1, 2, 3. Now you can apply some more dry flour on the side. Turn it over. When you're turning your rolled out disc, or when you turn it over, use your fingers like this and put it underneath and grip it with your thumb like this here and very quickly pick it up and turn. Now apply some dry flour on this side as well. Now remember the roti is gone bigger, so now we need to move the rolling pin around. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we rolled it all over because the roti is big. Now turn it over again and do the same thing. Start from the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go 6 there. Turn it over again. We're almost finishing now. Center again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn it over one more time. And there you have it. Our rolled out sheet is now ready. Now we can cut off all the uneven edges and shape it up into a rectangle. Use a ruler. Now fold your sheet in half and gently press it down here. This will give you a center mark, and unfold it, and there's your mark that you can see. Use your ruler and cut it on the mark. By cutting it in half, it will fit into a medium-sized pan. Once your pan is nice and hot, add in your pastry and toast it for 40 seconds. After 40 seconds, or once you see bubbles are forming and it starts to rise, turn it over and toast it for another 40 seconds. And after the final 40 seconds, the pastry is now ready. Now let's separate them. It's always best to separate them whilst it is still hot. And separate them very gently. Do not pull it out fast. And you can see how beautiful the pastry is. It is nice and thin. You can see my fingers through it. Once you have separated the first half, now we're going to divide this into half and cut it out. This is 13 centimeters. So our half will be 6.5. So mark it at 6.5 centimeters. Do the same on this end. Now we can cut it out. And there you have it, beautiful samosa pastry. Once all your strips are ready, keep it covered in a damp cloth so that it does not dry out. And for storing, you can put them in freezer bags or cling wrap them and freeze for up to 3 months. When required, you can remove it from the freezer and allow it to fully thaw out, and then put it in a microwave on normal settings for 2 minutes, and it will be as good as the day you made them. And when you put them in the microwave, do not move them or remove them from the cling wrap or the freezer bag. Now let's make our onions samosas. In a small bowl, add in 2 tablespoons of flour and normal tap water to form a thick paste. This will be the glue for sticking our samosas. Pick this corner up and bring it to the center until you get a overlap like this. Now add your glue on the left end and line it up to the left side. Make sure it sits in line. Now our pocket is formed. So now pick it up and place it on your fingers, and that overlap that we have there, put your thumb on it. That will hold it in place, and open your pocket like this. It's better if I put the filling this side so you can see better. Press it down with your thumb, open your pocket. Now let's add in the onions filling. Push the filling down with your thumb like this, and always use your finger and push it down so it sits in nice and tight. You can add in a little more filling. Now that we have enough filling in the pocket, you can push it down like this so it flattens at the end here, making it easier to do the next fold. And now pick it up and place it on your palm like this. And now apply more glue on this end, on the right hand end. And now fold it over to the right hand side like this and line it up. Make sure it's in line, and do the same on the left hand side. Apply your glue, fold it over and line it up to the left hand side, making sure that all your corners are closed. So now let's complete the folding. A little more glue, and now one simple overlap. And there you have it, the most beautiful onion samosa. For storing, you can pack them or put them in freezer bags, small freezer bags like this. Because we have 16 samosas, so you can pack 8 samosas in a bag. Now let me show you how to set the samosas in the bag. That's one. That's two. That is three, like fitting a puzzle together. 4, 5, 6, and we will put 2 on top. 7 and 8. Now if you're stacking a dozen, you have 6 at the bottom, and then you can put 6 on top. So now seal it, press it gently down to remove all the air, and then start to zip lock it. And before you zip lock the end, again press it down very gently and remove all of the air, and now seal it. And there you have it. Now for frying, for best results, you can deep fry them on medium heat until it turns golden brown in color. And once your first batch, you can fry 8 samosas at a time. And once your first batch of samosas are ready and you remove them, do not put your second batch in. Remove the oil from the heat and allow the oil to cool down a bit. Then add in your second batch. That way your samosas will not cook too fast, and it will get done the same amount of time as the first batch took. Once your oil is nice and hot, add in your samosas. turn it over after every 10 seconds. Because the pastry is so thin, it fries very quickly. Therefore, you have to turn it so we get an even fry on both the sides. There you have it, guys. The perfect samosas. You can see how beautiful the color is. Fried to perfection. Now when you remove them from the oil, set them on a rack like this and allow it to dry on a rack because it will not get soggy. Now setting the samosas on a rack like this here prevents the samosas from becoming soggy, and once they cool down you can put them in a platter or plate and then you can serve them. So there you have it, guys. The end result speaks for itself. Please like, share and subscribe, and please give this beautiful recipe a try. Until my next samosa video, stay blessed, be safe and peace out.